Hello everyone, my name is Elle. Welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a palette bingo. And I've only done one of these before. I did it with the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca Remix palette. That was a while ago. And I really wanted to play around with some more colors and things like that. So I decided to do one today using the Vice 3 palette. This is my favorite Vice palette. And I thought it would be fun to see what kind of look I could come up with using a random assortment of shades. So I have the random.org webpage up on my phone, and I have the random number generator set for a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 20 because there are 20 shades in the Vice palette. Originally, I thought about combining and doing 2 Vice palettes, but then I was like, 40 shadows, that might be a little excessive and going back and forth between palettes. So I'm just gonna stick with this one for now. And I will start with this shade up here as number 1, and I will go across this way, and I'm just gonna sort of snake around. So that's how I'm counting it. So 1 to 5, 6 through 10, etc. All right, so I'll swatch all the shadows that I'm picking, and then I will show you guys the shadows that I've drawn, and we'll sort of figure something out. I'm going to choose 4 random shadows, and I have to incorporate all 4 of those shadows into the look, or at least keep those 4 shades as the focus. Hopefully I don't get just boring neutrals, but then maybe I can do something a little fun with it. All right, so the first number I have here, let's generate something. The number is 8. So that would be, I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite shades in the palette. One of the shadows I hit pan on. This shade called Lucky. Okay, this is going to be a good day. I was a little nervous because I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna get myself into, but this is one of my favorite Urban Decay eyeshadows ever. It's no surprise that I have pan on it because it's just such a dream to use. Love like golden coppery shades so much. So this is already going to be a success, I just know. All right, the next shadow is 5, and that is Last Sin, and that's this guy right here. Last Sin I panned before in the Vice LTD palette. I panned that last year, and it's a very pretty pale like champagne pink color. So it's very soft and subtle. I used to use this all over my lid with like a bright color on my lower lash line. That was how I used that shadow up before. So I'm excited to play around with that because I really have not used that shadow that much since I panned it before. The next shadow is 13. So 13 is this brown shade right here called Rain. All right, I don't know if I've used this. Some of these shadows I really don't know if I've done more than swatch. So let's see what Rain looks like. Ooh, okay, that took me by surprise because I was thinking it looked a little bit dry, but it is a little bit crumbly, but I think it's because I took too much on my finger to do the swatch. It looked like it might be matte, but it's like one of those weird Urban Decay eyeshadows that's matte with shimmer. I'm not sure how they describe it, but it's definitely not a matte shadow because I can see a sheen in there. But this is like my classic kind of makeup combination right here. So I'm gonna pick one more shade. I'm hoping for a color because that would make me really happy. Let's see. Generate number 2. Number 2 is Dragon. Dragon is this green shade right here. So happy. This could not have gone better. Like I could not have planned this better than this. This is perfect. This is just amazing. Luck is on my side today. I got a green eyeshadow. So happy. I'm thinking gold on the lid and a green inner corner. Smoke it out with the brown. Okay, all right, we got something here. So obviously I already have my base on. I did go ahead and prime my eyes earlier and I set everything. Brows are on for what they are. I'm not a makeup artist. I don't want to try and pretend like I am. I am pretty much your garden variety makeup enthusiast. I am completely 100% self-taught. I've watched YouTube videos, I've followed tutorials, I have practiced to improve my skills to be at least somewhat okay. They're better than that they used to be. I'm not fantastic, and I'm not trying to be. I like having fun with makeup. So that's what this is gonna be. This is gonna be fun. Oh, and the only other thing I have on my face is a little bit of contour, because I always feel like my face is so flat, and contour is not something that would change depending on what makeup I use. I use the same powder, although I find that I need to find something that's a little bit more darker for use on camera, because my everyday contour shade is just really light. So I need to find one of my other shades to get out. Okay, so I'm spraying a little bit of Fix Plus, just a few drops in there, because I just like using metallic shadows wet. Don't need to, you don't have to. I like it because it helps me control shadow, minimizes fallout, especially where I've already powdered my face as well, except for underneath my eye area, in case I had to clean anything up and I didn't conceal. I did color correct under there, but I did not put on any concealer yet, and I just got a new concealer that I've used a couple times. It's not as good as I remember it being, which is kind of sad, but anyway, I'll explain more about that later. So I'm just using this MAC 239 brush to put Lucky all over my lid, and I'm not being super precise with it, but I'm bringing it up as far as my crease. I'm trying not to bring it too much further up above my crease, because I'm going to have to blend it out, and I like to put a shimmery shadow on my lid first sometimes and then blend out with another color instead of going in with so many transition shades first. I mean, I could have done that, it probably would make the look more cohesive, but I usually do the gold lid first when I'm putting like an orange or something in my crease, because I like the way that the gold mixes with the orange or like pink shadow. I don't think I'm going to do a color in the crease. I think I'm just going to go with a neutral shadow. But I love this Lucky shade. I'm just a gold eyeshadow fanatic. I always have been, but it's a good and a bad thing, because it's totally my comfort zone. It's totally where I like to live. So I don't really have a matte shade, and by don't really, I mean I don't have a matte shade, but there are matte shades in the palette. So I'm going to use one of these guys to blend out Lucky. I think just to keep it really neutral, I'm going to use this really light shade up here called Truth. This is just a shade that I would honestly use to set my eyeshadow primer, because it's a matte shadow that's very light and close to my skin tone. Sometimes when I'm blending out gold shadows, as I talked about before in various videos, like I would use something like Poppy Seed from my Pan That palette, because that's just a very neutral shade as well, just a little bit more on the grayish purple side than Truth, and it works so well to blend out edges, which is all I'm trying to do. Something like this is a variation of a look I would have done when I was panning the Vice LTD last year on the daily, because it's very easy to put a gold shadow on your lid and then blend it out. You have so many options with crease colors, but just a neutral color, whatever you would use to set your eyeshadow primer, should you use it, something close to your skin tone. And the reason why I like it is because you don't see the obvious where the shadow starts and ends. Obviously it's a gold shadow, it's not natural, but by blending everything together and onto the lid, you can't really see where you placed the shadow. It just sort of like all fuses together. And I like that, if that makes sense. I think I went too heavy with the base though on my eyelid, because I noticed that these shadows are not blending that well. And this brush that I'm using is like the best blending brush of all time. It's a Hakuhodo brush. I have 3 of them. This is a J5529. I got my first one at IMATS. I'm going to be doing an IMATS rehaul as well to kind of let you guys know my thoughts on those products, because I think that was the last haul I did. I don't think I did any other hauls besides that one that I did last year from IMATS. So I thought it would be useful to let you guys know, like, what did I end up using? What do I like? I'm always trying not to bring the shadow too far up on the inner corner, just because of the way my eye is shaped, and especially when I relax my face, like my eyes are so hooded that it often looks weird, or when I move around, because I have so many weird facial expressions that it looks weird. But I have like really creasy eyelids and it's hard to get things to blend or look right. My eyes are also uneven, so you know, yay. I just thought of the Hannah Montana song, you know, it's the best of both worlds. It's not at all. Okay, last sin. This kind of looks like I could use this maybe as an inner corner shade. I truly think I can really just use the majority of these shades because, yeah, last sin is actually, why didn't I do this before? I was going to use the green, wasn't I? I don't know, maybe I'll do the green lower lash line because I can't think of how else to use last sin, but as a inner corner shade, it's just working really well. ColourPop's Teaspoon Eyeliner, because yes. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on my waterline. There is something so magical about a green and gold combination. I'm gonna use this brush. If you guys watched my e.l.f. full face of first impressions that I did over the summertime, I tried a whole bunch of e.l.f. stuff. I did the full face using all e.l.f. products, including like brushes and tools and stuff. I am obsessed with this brush. It's just a pencil brush, but it's so soft. I use it constantly. I want to find more brushes like this from e.l.f. because it's just so good. So I'm dipping into Rain, the brown shade there with this brush, and I'm placing it in the inner corner just to get a little definition there. And I'm bringing it in, probably too much. I'm going to use this brush for placement, and then I think I'm going to blend it out with another brush. And I'm taking it up so that I get a little bit of like more of a winged shape, but it's very gradual, not as sharp as the beloved tape method that I told myself, no way, I didn't care what colors I picked, I was not going to be using that method because I feel like that's what I always go to because that is the default method for me. I've got this other tiny little blending brush I'm going to use. Yeah, that's the default for me because it's just so easy. Looks like you spent forever on your makeup and it's just easy to do, but I don't like relying on the same thing, even if it's easy. That's why I wanted to do this, because I wanted to do something that I don't normally do, and I want to challenge myself more, because one of the things I love the most about YouTube is watching makeup videos. And it doesn't always matter if the person is fantastic at makeup. Like, I like watching someone who's passionate about makeup, who has interesting ideas. Like, yeah, I like to learn new things, of course. Like, I want to be better. I want to improve as much as I can. That makes sense. But you can't learn some of the other things, and you can't always find inspiration. Sometimes that's the hardest part, is that I will watch somebody and they'll be so talented and skilled, but they won't go outside of their comfort zone. And they use like the same sort of tones and shadows all the time, and it's hard for me to get inspired. Okay, so I'm kind of diffusing this out a little bit more. This is not exactly what I had thought I was going to do, but this is bringing me back. I don't know, this feels like a look that I would have done when I was first playing with makeup. It's not bad. You can tell my enthusiasm has decreased a little bit since starting, because it's just, things never turn out as well as I dream them to be. So now on my lower lash line, I'm taking a little bit of Dragon. I do feel like I should have done my concealer first. Oh well. Alright, so I'm going to use the Benefit Lash Primer first on my lashes. I'm not sure if I'm going to do falsies or not, or if I'm just going to keep it falsie free. I just like playing with false eyelashes. It just, when you want to go dramatic, I just feel like it's so much fun, but totally not necessary. I'm using this little baby sample of Benefit Roller Lash. This is like the most expensive concealer ever, but I picked it up because I used a sample of it a long time ago, and yeah, not impressed like I was by that sample. So, well, I'll finish it up. I like concealer this style. This is Givenchy Mr. Light Corrector, by the way. But it does seem to do a pretty good job at like lightening my under eye, even though it does seem a little bit more yellow than what I would like. In my day-to-day life, I wouldn't even really need to use concealer, like unless I was trying to pan it, just because I feel like my under eye corrector does just a good enough job. But in videos, you can usually tell. Yeah, now I'm coming around to this again. This is always what happens. It's like I'm really pumped, I'm really excited. I start doing something and I'm like, man, this isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I've got an Urban Decay glitter liner. This is one of the new ones. I picked out a couple of the new ones because I'm obsessed. These are one of my holy grail items. This is Grind, and I just want the whole collection of them. Honestly, I just love them so much. They're one of my favorite makeup products because they're so easy to use and incorporate glitter. So I'm putting that on top of Last Sin to give my look that little bit of drama, a little bit of reflective glitter without being too much glitter. I'm actually going to put a little underneath my brow bone as well so that it catches the light a little bit instead of using a highlight shade. Now, I think, okay, so I do have this blush kit from Anastasia because I had to pick this one up. I don't have any blushes in these tones at all, and I love playing with things, so I had to pick this up. This is just, it just spoke to me on so many levels. I'm going to go with this shade, I think right here in the bottom. This is Chocolate? Yes, Chocolate. I've been using these blushes for the last couple of days and they last all day long. I just, and the colors are just so different. I just felt myself always wanting to reach for something a little bit different when I did my makeup. Like I felt like all my blushes were very generic, and I like that this is not generic. I will use this shade here too to contour. I just love the way that it looks. I love it so much. And then I'm going to use some bronzer. This is something that I just never did. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is light bronzer. And I never bronzed until I got this brush. My sister gave me this one. The Tarte from the Unicorn collection, I think. And it just changed my life. Like now I bronze like constantly. I don't know what it is. This brush contains magic. It truly is made of unicorns or something, because now I want bronzers and I'm picking up bronzer and I'm using it all the time, and I'm noticing that like I was usually using like a really big fluffy brush, even though it was labeled as a bronzer brush, and it was just not working for me. And this, I find like it really works at diffusing and blending stuff out, but still giving me like that life that I've always wanted from bronzers. So super happy. Next, I need some highlight. I keep looking to a mirror down here because these products I don't have mirrors. Like I have the Moonchild Glow Kit that does not have a mirror, and it makes me so sad. But there's a green highlighter in here called Lucky Clover. I feel like that would be a fun addition to this look, because I'm all about fun. Like I've said, I don't necessarily go for the typical kind of looks. There's nothing wrong with them, but when I play, I like to play. Now I just need a lipstick. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to hop on to Instagram Live. I'm going to ask you guys on Instagram Live what I should choose as my lip color. My camera is actually warning me that it's overheating. So I'll be right back and I'll let you guys know what came of the Instagram Live. All right, so I am back with the finished look. I jumped on Instagram Live for just a couple of minutes and I asked you guys there, what color should I put on my lips? And I got the amazing suggestion for a burnt orange lipstick. And then someone asked if I had Ofra's Miami Fever, and I do not, but I thought of the Anastasia lip palette. So this is what I used to come up with this lipstick. So I ended up using a mixture of this shade right here, so 3 Over. I used this shade here and the white, and that's how I came up with this pretty fantastic burnt orange lipstick, and I never would have thought of burnt orange. Like that's the few times I've jumped on Instagram Live to ask you guys what color lipstick I should do. I've been so happy with the results. Like it always sticks out to me because it's something that I never would have considered. Like I probably would have just gone with like a nude color, just something really safe and boring. I never would have thought of something very colorful. And it's not something that I would ever normally do. It's not something that I would think to do, but I love this. And it just, the tones all work so well together. So I did have to touch some stuff up a little bit, and I did spray a little Fix Plus on my face just to try and get rid of some of the powderiness that I was noticing going on because I over powdered earlier. But this is my finished look. I decided not to do false eyelashes because don't need them. This look is dramatic enough as it is without false eyelashes, as much as I love them, and I will never stop using them because they're just so much fun, but don't need it. So I'm going to keep my little cat ears on because my hair is a total mess. For those of you who don't know, I normally wear wigs in my videos because my hair is awful. So anyway, this is the total completed look for my palette bingo with the Vice 3 palette. Make sure to let me know what you guys thought of this style of video. If you would like to see more like this, let me know what palette you would like to see. If you'd like to see a combination of palettes, like smaller palettes. If you want to see another Vice palette, just let me know, I can do that. But if you want to see a combo of smaller palettes or some sort of variety of things, let me know, because I would love to do more, but only if you guys want to watch it, or if you want to see other sort of makeup style videos, because I think that's kind of where my passion lies. Just doing makeup for fun and hopefully giving people some ideas on various color combinations or things. And if you do end up being inspired and you do some sort of green, gold, burnt orange thing, make sure you let me know. It's one of the coolest things ever when people tag me in photos on Instagram or send me photos on Twitter or whatever, because it's just so cool that something that I did inspired you to do something else. And I like that we can kind of all inspire each other. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to those people who joined me on Instagram Live really quick to pick out this lip color. This was a really fun experience, and I had a really good time. And to close off this video, thank you guys so much for all of your love and support for all of my recent videos and my recent decisions and things that I've decided to do or not do moving forward. It really just, it makes me so happy because I was honestly so stressed about it, and I just wasn't sure if what I was doing was the right thing, but I really do think it's the right thing now. So I'm still doing project pans and panning makeup and all that kind of stuff, don't worry. I just want to do a few other things as well. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much, and I hope I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.